The NBA should be absolutely terrified of him. Whatever you want to call him. Big Maple, Big Zamboni, 7'4", Zach Edey from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. He has been unbelievable since he's gotten back. And not to say that Cedric Howard hasn't been a complete difference maker, because he certainly has. The things that he's done have been phenomenal. But Zach Edey has truly been the game changer that the Grizzlies have badly needed, and now the Grizzlies are all of a sudden looking NBA relevant right now. But what's going on, everybody? My name is Jaren Jackson Jr. For those of you who don't know me, we cover Grizzlies Digest for all your Grizzlies news and updates. Just want to give you all a shout out. 32% of you are fantastic. You're amazing. Hope you had a phenomenal, safe holiday season. Coming up on a lot of Christmas commercials now, but that's okay. You got to hit that subscribe button so you never miss another upload from us. 68% of you have to subscribe and hit that subscribe button. And it's free. I'm telling you, it's free. You can hit it right now, and we'll still be here giving you Grizzlies content. But have to start with Zach Edey. Now, the Grizzlies have won 5 of their last 6 games. And even though they lost that one against San Antonio a couple weeks ago, it still felt like they were very much in the game. They just had an awful final 2 minutes of the game. But that's the game whenever we thought, wow, Zach Edey is here to play and he's here to compete. But then Sunday night against Sacramento, we get what was just a phenomenal contest from Zach himself. And he went off for this stat line. Zach Edey is the first NBA player in NBA history to record 30-plus points, 15 rebounds, 6-plus offensive boards, 5-plus blocks, 75% field goal, plus 25, plus minus the GOAT. Now, not going to go as far as that just yet because he's got a long way to go. He is just beginning his second season in the NBA. But this is exactly what the Grizzlies needed. They needed some momentum. They needed that intensity. They needed rebounding. And Zach went over it very well. In the post-game press conference after Sacramento, he says, I just feel kind of comfortable this year, kind of settling in a little bit. I feel like I'm back at Purdue a little bit, just comfortable. So, that's scary to think because at Purdue, he was one of the more dominant specimens that we've seen in college basketball, at least in the past 4 decades. And going back to Ralph Sampson, I believe, was the player before Edey, 40 years before him, to be the last person to win back-to-back AP National Player of the Year. And I'm telling you, Zach, he was phenomenal at Purdue. He's actually what made me love Purdue basketball. That's not to say that I don't love Braden Smith or Fletcher Loyer or Trey Kaufman-Renn. I absolutely do. Even some of the other guys that went through the program and still are here to this day. But he really put big guys back on the map. Now, I know Wembanyama is just a freak of nature of his own. And it would have been nice to see him in that San Antonio game as well. But he's been injured for early this season. But Edey has really changed the game around, and especially because of rebounding. He also added to that quote, he says that teams are utilizing jump shots and they're afraid to come in, they're afraid to drive in the paint just because of the defensive rim protection, and that's when you have Edey and Aldama and Jackson Jr. playing together, as well as Jock Landale. Give him credit. Give him credit where it's due as well, because he's been shooting the ball well. I think he's a better fit for this team than Jay Huff. That's not to say that Jay doesn't deserve his flowers either, because he, as we speak right now, I believe last I saw, actually leads the NBA in average blocks right now. So Jay is actually making a name for himself over at Indiana, so shout out to Jay Huff. You're doing phenomenal. But Zach Edey has just completely changed the game around. Here's some of his highlights against Dallas. But you look at Edey and just the way that he's positioning himself on the offensive side of the ball. Like against Daniel Gafford. That's not an easy task to go up against, especially when Gafford himself at one point was making a name for himself in terms of blocks, but you see Edey just getting offensive possessions, and that's the best way, really the more underrated way to create opportunities is to get offensive possessions from offensive rebounding. And that is just a really great weapon to have. And you see the rejection right there on Gafford. And you see him steal the ball in the open court. And there's a shot right there. Over the top. I mean, over the top, if you find him, if you're on the three-point line, you pass over the top and find Edey, it's pretty much over for anybody. But he's been really changing the game so well for this team. He's so tall. He's so good. And I really do think that he is changing the game for Memphis entirely. Over the past 3 games, 19.3 points a game, 17 rebounds a game, 3.3 blocks a game, 72% field goals, percent on field goals, and 32 minutes a game he is averaging. So, again, this is like the game changer, right, that we're talking about. And the fact that he's been doing all of this, again, without Ja Morant, he's kind of using Vince Williams as kind of his backup facilitator. And I kind of want to make a video on Vince Williams Jr. at some point eventually, because he has taken on just a really unique role, and he's really making himself look relevant. There's so many ways to be relevant in the NBA, whether you're shooting the ball or rebounding or blocking balls like Zach Edey is, or if you're passing the basketball. Vince Williams, I understand his shot has been criticized a lot. I completely get it, but he is completely reinventing himself passing the basketball. Like I said, I want to make a video on him eventually, so he does not go unnoticed, because he deserves as much love as Zach Edey right now. But going back to the content, Rafael Davis, who normally talks college hoops, was in the conversation after the Sacramento game, saying Zach Edey should have been the number 1 pick in the 2024 draft. No question. Of course, we go all the way back to that Yahoo Sports analyst who graded the Zach Edey pick as a D grade. And guess who has the last laugh now? Again, and those trolls who are always like, well, if he was a foot shorter, he'd be working at McDonald's. Well, look at him now. I mean, he's utilizing his size to the best of his ability, and not to mention he's only been playing organized basketball for less than a decade. I mean, he was a late bloomer, and now look at him now. And he is someone who's really wrecking the game right now. And if he continues like this, he is going to continue to wreck the league. So going back to Rafael Davis's point to the 2024 draft, Risache, the overall number 1 pick, then followed by Alex Sarr, both guys from France. And then you have Reed Shepherd, who didn't get much playing time last year, which, Fred VanVleet, he's a phenomenal player, give him credit as well. But now he's having to step in in that role, because Fred VanVleet is out for the season, unfortunately. I would disagree to Rafael's point, but only to say that maybe if you're going to redraft, you put Stephon Castle in that number 1 spot in the NBA draft. Honestly, if you're an Edey fan, if you're a Purdue fan, you probably hate that Castle and Kleiman were picked before Edey, because both of those guys are UConn guys. But honestly, I think he was drafted at just the right spot and drafted with just the right team. And when Ja Morant comes back, I think he's going to look even better for this organization. And as we close out the video, just want to take a look at what the Grizzlies have done, winning 5 of the last 6 games, dropping to Denver, and really kind of looking not too bad in that game as well. But they got San Antonio. They got a chance here, folks. They got a chance to make some noise here over the next 7 games. You're at San Antonio. You got the struggling Clippers. You got Portland, which I think that'll be a good game. Utah, you can win. LA Clippers, you may split that one. You may split 1-1 against them. Minnesota will be tough. Washington, you could definitely win. So I think they can go on like a little stretch here. Let's see what happens. By the way, Zach Edey is playing phenomenal. He's playing out of his mind. And that's going to do it for this video. That's how we're going to close it out. You can leave a comment below on your thoughts on Zach Edey and the way he's been playing this sophomore season. You can like this video, comment on this video, share this video. And hopefully, Zach, if you're seeing this, man, keep it up. You're playing phenomenal. And Grizzlies Nation, they need you to continue what you're doing right now. Just keep doing what you're doing. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.